Welcome to your Aries Yoga Flow. This is yoga for Aries signs. Come to the top of your mat, bringing your feet together and inhaling, nourishing the body with your breath as you soften your drishti, your gaze, or maybe even close down the eyes for just a moment before we fire it up. Breathing in deeply and letting the low belly be the engine of the breath. Inhaling, filling the low belly, the lungs with breath, revitalizing, nourishing prana, life force energy. And exhaling, compressing the navel towards the spine. Exhaling, expelling any stagnant energy through the breath. And inhaling, continuing to breathe through the low belly, expanding and contracting, and gently constrict the back of the throat to create that victorious Ujjayi breath. If any sign is destined to be victorious, it is Aries, ruled by Mars, the warrior. So firing up that Ujjayi breath by gently constricting the low belly. We're not shortening the breath in the throat, we're allowing the body to fill up completely with breath, especially working with the low belly as our engine here, and then just slightly creating the sound of the ocean and listening. And as we move through your vinyasa flow today, aim for one breath, one movement, rooting down and lifting up, greeting the sun, the fiery sun. Exhaling, bowing forward here, releasing, perhaps bringing a micro bend into the knees. Gently lift and lengthen, placing all 10 fingers spread wide on the ground, stepping back into your plank post posture. Shoulders over wrists, the heels are reaching back as the crown reaches forward, and pause here for a moment, activating the core, the solar plexus, Manipura chakra at the navel center. Bringing your awareness to your navel and perhaps gently hugging the navel in as you build heat and strength here. And then coming through to our Chaturanga Dandasana, dropping the hips safely, opening the heart, look up. Exhale, rolling over both toes or one at a time as you press back into your downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up, pump the right knee towards the nose, inhaling or exhaling back. Taking several rounds here, engaging the core. And then finally, stepping through into your crescent lunge and then opening right away to warrior two. Aries is the warrior sign ruled by Mars, the planet of business and war. Firing up your Ujjayi breath as you open up here, open the hips up, dropping the tailbone down, zipping up, engaging your root lock or bandha. The right knee is over the right shoulder, and the gaze is soft yet focused over the middle finger. Few breaths here. Connecting into that warrior spirit and warrior energy of Aries, the ram archetype. And then we're going to reverse our warrior here, keeping the back arm lifted to actively engage the core even more. And then let's move into a side angle here. Looking down or up, creating a nice long line from the angle of your foot that's parallel to the mat to the tips of the fingers. Beautiful. And let's reverse our warrior one more time and then windmill the arms down, placing the left hand down, twisting the heart open towards the wall, spiraling the heart towards the ceiling. The right arm comes up, look up, exhale down, taking a moment to stabilize here, shoulders over wrists, step back into your plank position, Chaturanga, and opening the heart, dropping the hips, upward facing dog, exhaling back. Right away, lifting the left leg and bringing your knee to your nose. For a few rounds, finding your breath. And then bringing the foot down between the hands, rising up into a crescent lunge, and then opening into warrior two. Taking a moment to fire up your Ujjayi breath. Gaze is over the middle finger, connecting into that warrior energy of Aries. building heat, fiery. Aries, the first final sign, representing that individuated sense of self, the ego. Creating a healthy and noble ego here in our warrior pose. And then let's reverse the warrior, leaving the right arm up just to actively engage the core even more. And then coming into a nice long side angle pose. Finding the breath, dropping the tailbone down, opening the hips. Left knee is over the left ankle. Beautiful. Let's reverse one more time. And then cartwheeling the arms down, right arm down, left arm up, twisting open, cultivating that optimism that Aries is known for. That fiery spirit. Bringing the hand down. Let's step back into our plank, chaturanga, and opening the heart, pressing back, lifting the seat. Taking a moment in your downward facing dog. Gaze is at the navel, brain is heavy at the head. And then lift the seat, bend the knees, look forward, and hop or step to the top of your mat. Come up with a flat back. Arms come up, greet the sun, open the heart. Bringing the hands to Anjali at the heart center. Finding your breath. Ujjayi breath. And coming through a chair pose, bow, bending down into our forward fold. Gently lift and lengthen again, shoulders over wrists, fingers spread wide, step back into your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Open the heart, upward dog. Flipping over both toes or one at a time, lifting the seat. And lifting the right knee, knee to right bicep, and back, knee to left bicep, and back, and then knee to nose, and stepping through, rising into our warrior two again, back into the warrior pose, the pose that really embodies and represents the Aries energy. Connecting here to your breath and finding that power of Aries, the warrior. And then we're just going to fly here, lifting off into our half moon pose. Stacking the hips on the coronal plane, finding your drishti or gaze at a single focused point. Firing up the breath. Your wingspan is long, the arms are reaching away from each other. Beautiful. And then coming back and reversing your warrior. And cartwheeling down, again twisting open on the right side. Bringing the hand down here and stepping back into our plank pose, chaturanga. And opening the heart, dropping the hips safely. Exhaling, flipping either over both toes or one at a time. Lifting the seat up even more. And the second side, left knee to left bicep. And back and left knee to right bicep. And three-legged dog. And exhale, the knee comes to the nose. And then stepping through, coming through a crescent lunge. And opening to warrior two. And connecting into that warrior energy. Gaze is over the middle finger. Getting nice and powered up here. And reversing our warrior. And coming into reversing our warrior for a moment. Back to warrior two. And then we're going to fly into our half moon pose. Second side. Find your drishti, find your balance. Wobbling is wonderful, falling is fabulous. Do your best. Stacking the hips, rooting down through the left leg. Spiraling the heart open. And coming back into our warrior two. And reversing that warrior. And then cartwheeling the arms towards the ground again. Opening up. Twisting open. And placing the hand down. If at any time your wrists get tired, you can always bring them into Mushti Mudra, into a fist. And then stepping back into our plank. Let's just come all the way to the ground for a moment, bringing the third eye to the floor. And imagining like your third eye were a drain, just emptying out the thoughts for a moment, allowing for a healthy compression on the gut, the belly. Beautiful. And then tucking the toes, pressing back into our plank pose and back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to look forward and we're going to hop through to a seat and come right into Navasana boat pose, firing it up. The energy of the ram, just do it. We're not overthinking here with this fiery spark of cardinal energy, Aries. That individuated breakthrough energy, the first sign in the zodiac, it's a whole new beginning. And you can straighten the legs if you haven't already in your Navasana, in your boat. Shaking is great here. Maybe bringing a slight smile to your face. Feeling the fire. And coming into a low boat. And then coming up to your half of your boat with bent knees. And again, straightening. And again, low boat. Boat with bent knees. Straightening. Gorgeous. And let's just bring the feet to the ground for a moment. And we're going to bring the knees back up into boat and we're going to twist. Hands are going to be at Anjali heart center and I'm going to come to the side and exhale twice. Inhale through center, exhale, twist over to the right side. And I don't leave my knees perfectly straight here. I kind of move them with me and feel what works for you to keep your balance here. And begin. We're going to engage the abdominal core in this abdominal twist. So I'm straightening my opposite leg just to give me, to deepen this fun Navasana twisted core exercise. And gorgeous, just rest for a moment. And then we're gonna roll back onto our back, vertebra by vertebra. Taking the legs up the wall, point and flex the toes, roll out the ankles one direction and then the other. Beautiful. And then we're just going to dance down. You can bring your hands to the mat and just alternating, twisting the legs, dancing up and down the wall here. I'm crisscrossing the legs and like I'm walking, alternating, engaging the core, breathing deeply. Beautiful. And then hugging the knees in. Let's do a happy baby here, keeping the sacrum on the ground, the three fused vertebrae at the back of the pelvic bowl. Bending the knees, feet are facing up. I'm clasping the outer edges of my feet and kind of pulling them down just a little bit. You can rock back and forward, having some fun with this fiery practice. Okay, so bringing the knees over the hips here, bending. We're going to lift up, engaging the core, lifting the shoulders off of the mat. And then we're going to straighten through the right and bring the right elbow to the left knee. And we're going to exhale twice. Inhale through center. Exhale, left knee, left elbow to right knee. Twist and exhale twice. Come through center. Inhale. Exhale. And keep going. The solar plexus, Manipura chakra. Deepening in the second exhale. Just a few more rounds here. Beautiful. And coming down to the mat into our final resting pose. Shavasana, well done. This short Aries, Yoga for Aries class. We've been really focusing on that warrior energy and then ending, firing up the core, the solar plexus, from where we source that fiery willpower. Aries is often leading the pack, blazing the trail, seeing if anyone can catch up. It is that individuated sense of self, the ego consciousness, aiming to create a healthy, noble ego. The polarity of Aries is Libra, the sign of partnership. So just noticing how we can show up fully embodied, confident in our sense of wholeness as the self, while engaging in a meaningful relationship. Aries always arrives on the first day of spring, or rather spring equinox, when day and night are equal. Resting here for a moment, surrendering deeper. And whenever you're ready, bending the knees, placing the bottom of the feet on the floor, reaching the arms overhead, and then rolling over to one side, cradling the ear on the bicep, taking a moment to honor the transitional moment, and pressing down, sitting up into your seated posture here, maybe easy pose, half lotus, cross-legged, whatever you desire. Bringing the hands to heart center, and we're gonna have an inhale and an exhale together to close. Inhaling and exhaling. Thank you so much for firing it up, Aries, with this activating yoga experience. Please subscribe and let me know what you loved about this practice and what kind of content you would love for me to create for you. Sending you lots of love.